Boise State Esports Arena. We're gearing up for week 6 of our PEC season. We are starting to wind things down as we get closer and closer to the grand finals in Vegas. But since it's the start of the week, we have our weekly PEC pre-show, and we've got a special one here for you today. We have got a director's pre-show. I'm joined by Joey Gariziak of Syracuse, Joe Jacko from USC, and Christopher Bilski from Michigan State, all directors of their esports programs. This is going to be a fun one because, like I said, we are gearing up for that postseason in Vegas. Just a few more weeks to go. Joe, I want to throw the first question to you. In one of those final few weeks, week 7 to be precise, the last week of competition, USC is going to be facing off against Syracuse in Valorant. Now, tell me, in all the games, but tell me specifically for Valorant, what things are looking like. What's the importance of this game in terms of seeding, standings going into playoffs?
Yeah, so for Valorant, standings are extremely close between us and Syracuse. Both teams are looking to be about 3-2 or about 3 wins and 2 losses. What's important here is really playoff seeding and the tiebreaker head-to-head going into the LAN. I think setting up for seeding into the final matches will be really, really important. And so when we're playing against Syracuse in this final week 7, that stands to, I think, the test of what the LAN will hold up to be. So really excited for the match. We've got some star players that have really shown over the course of the season, specifically Andre or Ondo. I want to shout him out. He's had, 30 bomb kills in multiple games and series. So just really excited to watch him play in a final and really important match of the season, of the regular season, before we head to Vegas.
This Valorant game, we have seen some incredible growth and momentum from them this season as opposed to last season. With everything that Syracuse has going for them, where do you see the ceiling of success for your team? Is that in making it to the semifinals or winning the grand finals, or is there any sort of other metric for success that you're looking for here?
All the way, baby. That's what it's all about. Of course, we're looking for growth that we have from one season to the next, one game to the next, one map to the next, but I got to tell you, these guys are looking strong. I've been really impressed with the way they've come on lately. I know during the fall, they're still finding their footing in a lot of ways, but the team chemistry has been really, really good, especially getting into the spring semester here. So I feel really strong that we do have a chance. I think we can play with the big boys of the league, the Michigan States, the Boise States, and the other top dogs when it comes to the Valorant matches. I mean, we played Michigan State pretty well last week, so I felt pretty good about our match. Yes, we lost 0-2. But the maps were a lot closer than that score indicated. So I think that if we just kind of tweak a couple of things, keep getting our footing under us, we got a good chance. I really do think we do have a chance to go all the way. But really what I'm looking for is our team to continue to grow, especially going from this year into year 2 next year. Right? Pretz, as our team leader, has really stepped up in a big way. Our team chemistry, our team bonding, the way they're picking each other up has really picked up, especially compared to where it's been to in the past. And that's been a big focus for us, is really not just the how you play in the game, but that mental aspect, and how that translates to trying to be better. So really excited to continue to play. Looking forward to playing Joe's team next week as well. I think we're going to take them next week, just saying. But really, I think that we have a chance to really make some noise when we get to the LAN here in just, oh my gosh, we're like almost a month away, just over a month away. I think we got a chance to make some noise while we're there. It should be a lot of fun, really interesting, and maybe a little bit of a sleeper pick. So keep an eye on us. Don't sleep on Syracuse, because I think we're going to make some noise when we get there in a few weeks.
One thing that Joey mentioned, Christopher, was in talking about kind of the big boys of the league, especially for a Rocket League, that has been the case. Now, I should note that, in this program, at least the people surrounding me have called the wins that Michigan State got against Boise State in the regular seasons upset wins. Now, I don't know if I would necessarily phrase it that way, because you won last season, the regular season match, and then you won this season's regular season match. Are you thinking that the win-loss record, when it comes down to the match, let's say the grand finals where it all matters, do you think Michigan State is going 3 for 3? Do you think your team has what it takes to keep beating the Broncos and take home the Rocket League championship?
Well, yeah, I think we have what it takes, that's for sure. But when you get to a LAN environment, it's different, right? It's what teams are going to best adapt to the environment, the noise, the station that they're playing on. It's not just talent alone. It's what team is able to convert on that talent the day of. So Boise State is a very formidable opponent, and there's some other good teams in this league as well. We've kind of been at the top with the 2 of them, but there's a lot that can happen in the next few weeks as teams prepare for this LAN, once teams actually get to the LAN. And, hopefully, obviously in my unbiased opinion, I think that we have the team to take it home, but it's really going to be who plays best that day. Because each of the games we played against Boise have been razor thin margin. I think the last game we played them, it might have been a Game 5 overtime. I mean, it doesn't get closer than that. So moving forward, yeah, either team could take it. If I had to make a prediction, I would say, I think it's either Boise or us. Boise's consistently ranked as like a top 10 team in the country. So clearly they have the pedigree, the skill to win. It's just, that's what we're looking for. We're looking to take those regular season wins, which you can't bring with you to the LAN other than seeding, but we're looking to take home a trophy.
Now, Joe, as we're getting closer and closer to the finals, do you see any dark horses in any of the games that we see? We've touched on Valorant and Rocket League, but of course there's Overwatch and Smash. Are there any teams from your perspective that you're seeing as a dark horse that's kind of emerging that could surprise everyone in the finals? And you can include USC if you think that's the answer.
So across all metrics for all the different titles, I think that Nebraska has the best chance if we're talking about like a completely middle of the pack school that could make a run for it. I think Nebraska across all titles fits that bill. I think if you want to look at a specific title, the one that I'd call attention to is Smash, because I think a LAN environment for Smash specifically is entirely different from the remote matches that we have in Overwatch and in Valorant and even Rocket League. So I think that when it comes down to a LAN, Smash would be the number one title to look at. And I think that the schools like us who do travel to a lot of the Southern California LANs would have a really good shot. I think Nebraska as well, being that middle of the pack school, has a good shot as well. So that's where I'm looking and what I'm paying attention to specifically.
Now, Joey, this has been a very exciting debut year for the PEC, and kind of making a statement with this LAN that we've been talking about taking place in Las Vegas. What do you think that location in particular does for the pedigree of the PEC? Do you consider the PEC to be up there with national championships? I mean, how have things turned out from your view in terms of the buzz and prestige around this new alliance?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Do we have a few hours where I can really kind of pontificate on the importance and how great this has been? It's really been, end of the day, it's been a lot of fun, right? And I kind of prepared an answer for this, but really I forget that answer, right? It's like, it's been a lot of fun to be in these competitions, to be with these other schools, these other directors, these students at these schools that put in so much effort, so much time, so much energy. It's just been plain fun. And that's what video games should be. Sure, this is great. It's great to have the national recognition, get the big brands out there, the peer institutions out there. The fact that it's in Las Vegas and the fact that Las Vegas wants us to be there, right, at the Luxor, at the HyperX Arena, there's really not a bigger stage that you can think of. Sure, Arlington has a great facility, right? There are other facilities that we could talk about in the country or even around the world, but few of them compare with what we're going to be able to compete in Las Vegas here in just about 5 weeks. So what that means is that we're really putting the PEC on a pedestal, right? We're really head and shoulders above where we thought we would even be at this point. This is year one. We're not even done with year one right now. And to look at where we came from to where we are now is really a testament to the teams, the directors, the coaches, the players, the schools, the support, and just the wider esports collegiate community that we're starting to build around all these programs, right? We're starting to get our students involved, our faculty involved. We're getting our administrators involved and to pay attention to what we're doing, because this is real. This is very real competition, a very real skill set that few individuals have to compete at this level. And we're able to showcase that on literally the biggest stage in esports. So what it means to be in Vegas, it's really unquestioned that this is the most important, the apex of where I thought we could even get to. And I love that we are there in year one. That really kind of sets a standard for year two, for where we are now and how we're gonna outdo that for year two. But we got some things in mind for where we want to get to for year two. So it's going to be great. I really am excited to be there, excited to be, as Joe was mentioning earlier, that LAN environment. Chris said the same thing earlier, like you can play all these games online like we have all year. You get to that LAN environment, you got to wipe the slate clean. It's a completely different feeling. So we don't know how competition will shake out. We don't know what production looks like, what tournament organizing looks like, but we do know that we finally get a chance to get all these schools together, all these students together, all these directors and coaches and administrators together in the same place finally to, yes, enjoy the competition, to hopefully beat up on Michigan State and Boise State a little bit, but also just the camaraderie for what we have established here in this first year of having this alliance together. It's been a lot of casual, let's do this, let's do that, let's compete here, let's have this kind of schedule, let's score report like this. But it's getting more formalized and more organized. This was kind of a proof of concept, for lack of a better term, and we have way surpassed that test to see how this would go in year one. So really excited for the land final, excited to actually see these guys in person, to see everybody in person, to see competition in person, and just kind of, just digest on what the season has been. But all of this is going to lead into a championship, lead into some trophies, and then launch us into year two, where it's only going to get bigger and better from here on out. So thrilled beyond belief, and can't even imagine what the next year is going to look like.
Well, Christopher, talking about that year two, we're looking at potential expansion for the PEC, more universities joining into this competition. Now, what I want to ask you is, first of all, what is the criteria that we're going to be looking for to add those PEC schools? And then do you have any personal wishes on who you want to be in the PEC going forward in the new year? Who do you think, to put it bluntly, what new school would be most likely to put Doc Haskell in his place?
That's a very short list. I don't know if that's the place to start, but when we look at, as Joey talked about here, this was really a prototype. This was something that we came together and we said, hey, we believe we can do this. We can come together with like-minded organizations, schools who fit a certain kind of support floor. You check all these certain boxes that we feel are important. And that's really, looking towards expansion towards the future. It's a case-by-case basis. We have certain things that we're looking for, certain check marks that we feel need to be in the program. But beyond that, it's about the group coming together to say, who do we want to be a part of this? One of the schools that I personally hope joins next year, and one that we've talked about, is the University of Minnesota. Doug Goon. I've played against them. They've come to our events. They're part of the Big East Sports Conference with us at Michigan State University. Run at a very high level, and that they're very well organized. They have that feel, that professional sense about them as they go about their business and their program. And that's what we're looking to bring in here. We're looking to bring schools who carry themselves a certain way, who are excited about the things we're excited about. The things that, like, hey, what if we did this? What if we did a Fall Stars event in the middle of our season where we had schools or players from each school represented? Wouldn't that be a cool idea? Or, what can we do next? What can we try that maybe other people haven't tried? I think getting those people in the same room, in the same conference, scheduling alliance, whatever that might be, bringing them together is a very powerful thing. And so I'm excited for next year. I'm hoping that we can bring in some other very talented programs, some students who can help push us forward to the next step.
All right. You were given the opportunity to take the bait, Chris, and you did not. So we appreciate that. That's going in your column. The remainder of your time is open to Joey. Who's going to put me in my place?
Well, if we can get NC State to get organized, I think they might be able to put all of us in our place.
Darn right.
Yeah, but I need some more ACC schools, right? I'm tired of these Big Ten schools in there. I need some ACC brethren to get in there. So yeah, I'm looking at NC State. I'm looking at you, Cody. Let's get going. Let's move on some things. Let's ACC pride. So I think they got a chance, but I think there's a lot of schools to put Doc in his place. I don't think he's where he thinks he's at.
Exactly. There's the content that people came here for. I'm going to get out of here and let the real host get back up here. But let me launch into this question. Quick answer from each of you. Name 3 schools, top of your head, doesn't matter where they are in the esports, that really move the needle for you. 3 schools. We'll go Joey, Joe, Chris, in that order. Go.
Notre Dame, University of Georgia, Oregon, University of Oregon.
For me, I would say UCLA because they're our biggest rival. I would say Harvard because Gordon Bellamy would kill me if I did not say Harvard. And I'll say Rutgers because I'm from Jersey. So them as well.
So, lifelong Notre Dame fan, so I'm going to join Joey here in saying Notre Dame. Michigan State University always moves the needle, so I'm going to put that on the list there. But no, in reality, I think Florida State would be a good addition. I think that touches the ACC that Joey's looking for, but also gives us a more regional representation in Florida that we don't currently have, which I think is important. I think maybe more SEC schools or an SEC school. Well, we have one, but like getting those into the organization, whether that's a Florida who's done really well recently in certain titles, or we've talked about Missouri as well. They have a very strong program too. I think just continuing the spread regionally, like what we're looking at, those are schools that move the needle.
All right, one final quick rapid fire question. I'm going to say the name of the game, and you need to tell me who you think, if the season were just to end right now, who's going to the grand finals. You don't have to tell me who wins, but what do you see the grand final matchup as? Chris, we're going to go with you in Smash.
If you had to pick right now, I would say it's Michigan State University versus Nebraska. Nebraska just took a game off of us, which I think was actually a very good thing. It's a motivator. It's a wake-up call. And so, as Joe said, though, Smash is the one game that I think has the biggest difference between playing online and playing in person. So it'll really be which team adjusts best to that LAN environment when it comes to Smash.
Joe, Valorant.
Valorant, I would say I actually think that Syracuse has a decent shot. I think we'll really see who ends up there head to head, whether it's us or them in that second or third place spot. But I think it'll be them against Michigan State or us against Michigan State for sure.
And then Joey, I've got Rocket League for you.
God, I hate to do this. This is like chalk. I got to go Boise, Michigan State. No, it's the final. It's like the Super Bowl. It's the final nobody wants to see. People will be tuning in. It's like, all right, these guys should be there. It's fine. It's like, yeah, it's Kansas City and Philadelphia all over again. So I'm going to go Boise, Michigan State for Rocket League.
Well, I think on that note, we're just going to have to end it right there. As we shut on down, we still have more esports actions to bring to you. If I could see them, I would say thank you so much for joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule. We really appreciate having you, all of us here. That'll do it for our PEC pre-show. But like I said, we got another week of PEC action to start. Week 6. As Boise State's ready to go up against Kansas. Don't go away. We'll be back with Rocket League in a short while.
Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
Is your IT setup held together by duct tape and hope? Don't worry, Alpine IT Group has your back. We handle on-site support, service desks, cloud management, office phone systems, mobile device management, and more. And the best part, we can fix things remotely, so you can concentrate on your clients. Call Alpine IT Group at 1-888-720-4769 or visit alpineitgroup.com today. Scaling success together and completely duct tape free.
At Blue Ribbon Painting, we're proud to be a locally family-owned and operated business dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's freshening up your home with interior or exterior painting or tackling a commercial project, we got you covered. When you choose Blue Ribbon Painting, you're not just hiring painters. You're getting a team that's committed to making your vision a reality. Call or text us at 208-369-2583 or visit us at blueribbonpainting.net. Your project deserves a blue ribbon finish.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight, you join us for Week 6 of the PEC. Boise State is set to go up against Kansas in all of our regular esports games. As usual on Monday, we start out with a Rocket League. Boise State, can they pick up their first win against the Jayhawks and improve their standings and, of course, seeding going as we get closer to the postseason? We're going to answer that question tonight. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, joined by Danner Hill. Now, Danner, before this match started in the PEC pre-show, we had quite an inflammatory statement given by Joey Gariziak, esports director of Syracuse. He gave us a hypothetical scenario in which Boise State went up against Michigan in the grand final, saying that it's like the Super Bowl, a match no one actually wants to see. Now, Boise State being in the grand finals and that being a match and no one wanting to see, I don't know how those two go together. Why should we want to see Boise State in the grand finals?
We want to see Boise State in the grand finals because that's where they thrive. That's where they play the best. And especially in a LAN environment, they have so much experience in those situations that they are going to be very comfortable playing against Michigan on that stage in the grand finals for all the marbles.
Now, Boise State, to be in the grand finals, of course, they do have to have experience with LANs, which, of course, is something that they have competed in many, many times before. No matter who is playing for the Broncos, all of them have extensive LAN experience. Speaking about who is playing for the Broncos, we'll give you the lineup right now because Boise State, we have got Gabriel Gil Reynolds joining in for this match this week. He's been kind of an old hand with Boise State Esports, but an immense amount of talent behind them. Then we've got Cade Woozy Hall and Preston Ferrante will be the lineup for you here in Week 6.
Yeah, and even though we do have Gil coming into this match, I mean, I still don't see any sort of change really coming into this match. I mean, sure, one player changes, but I still think it's going to be a very, really commanding game out of the Boise State.
Well, what is really going to decide who wins this match isn't going to necessarily be who is subbed in or out, but it's going to be who follows the keys to the game best, and that will be in Rocket League to create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo the other team to disrupt their play. It's all brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years of combined experience, they're proud to be Boise's go-to team of local, multi-generational painters who know exactly how to level up your home. If you're ready to transform your space, visit blueribbonpainting.net to schedule your free estimate. It has been a long and winding road for the Broncos, one that has had a few losses here and there, mainly against Michigan State. We'll see if maybe the Jayhawks want to join that exclusive club of teams that have beaten the Broncos. 5 games to decide it all of best of 5. Boise State and Kansas going off. And here we go with Jayhawks versus the Broncos. First kickoff off to the side of the field. Jar pass. Oh my, Taffew already. I'm going to do Taffew. Alpaca already off to a fast start, putting a shot on the goal. But Boise State, quick counterattack. Preston tries to center it. No follow-up. Now Alpaca with a good dribble, and Jar for the follow-up off of the back post, and follow-up attempted again by Taffew. Boise State already finds themselves on the back foot a little bit.
On the back foot, but it is back and forth right now. We're seeing Boise State start an offense. Woozy's going to be able to carry this one out of the corner, maybe getting it mid for someone. Preston's going to jump up for this one. Just keep it into play. Taffew trying to send this one out. Doesn't go very far with the little boost he has. Woozy sending it high, maybe follow up for another teammate. It's going to be Gil. Shot on net. Goal! Boise State up by 1.
All that time out of the Raider lineup, and Gil is just picking up where he left off. Nice follow-up play to get Boise State's first goal. And now, 4 minutes, 15 seconds left. Boise State up 1. Plenty of time, though, for Jayhawks comeback.
Alpaca, he's going to be able to take this one from the corner. Preston tries to challenge that one early, but it's going to be dangerous on the other side. Woozy with his great save. Taffew's going to control onto the sidewall, trying to get it mid for a teammate, but that demo in the midfield by Preston is going to open up plenty of space for Boise State to start a counter offense, but Jar has to race to this one. He's going to get dunked by Woozy, maybe followed by Preston on target. It's going to be wide, followed by Gil again. Just like that, Boise State not letting up for any moment are going to put 2 on the board.
Just when Woozy and Preston run out of boost, Gil is there where he needs to be. All the boost he has to work with, he could possibly want to work with, and scores the second for the Broncos. Now, oh, this is a great take off the kickoff. Woozy and Gill off into the corner. Rotation coming over. Oh, Gill runs into Alpaca, however, and leaves Jar with the shot on the goal. Preston will be able to save. Alpaca now center it again to Tathew or Jar. Shot going to be good. Oh, it's wide and just off the back post. Kansas, though, no strangers to shots on goal. They've matched Boise State's pace 3 for 3 so far this game.
Gill going up fast for this one, trying to put one on target. It's going to be wide. Tathew carrying it to the side wall, and Alpaca trying to lead the charge here, popping it high and towards net. Going to be followed up. It's going to be faked. And Woozy wasn't expecting that one. He was expecting the connection.
Yeah, me too. But sometimes the best thing you can do, this can be a hard thing for a lot of players to grasp, but sometimes it's best to just leave it alone if you see the trajectory is right on.
Yeah, it's a good mind game to have in your back pocket to be able to pull out at any moment to try and just, get a goal back, and just what they did. I mean, they're cutting the lead in half.
Nice clear by Boise State. Jar trying to regain control, has a nice dribble. Preston takes it away from him. Off to the side where Gill and Woozy are waiting. Both of them touch it. Now Woozy goes in, trying to fake out Tathew, but Tathew makes contact, makes the save, and now has a chance at a clear here as Alpaca's in the passing lane, ready to take it. Oh, missed by the Broncos, but Kansas still maintaining this pressure.
Jar doing a back pass to Alpaca. Shot on target. Preston with the save. Woozy gets a bump on the last man. Now it's going to be all up to Jar to try and defend this one. Preston's going to get over his head. Maybe a shot on target. No, Tathew sending one back into the corner and also able to get a clear onto it. Preston controlling this offense, though, sending it into the corner, trying to get a pump over the last man. Not going to happen. Gill, this one might just pinch on in. It's going to go to the post and roll on out. Kansas counting their lucky stars. They're going to still look for an equalizer.
Alpaca doesn't have any boost to work with, however, so Gill stops him at mid. Jar has boost and tries to make something of it, but meanwhile, we got a double demo from Boise State, so any chance Kansas had at a forward push was negated there. Gill tries to push it off the backboard. Jar, nice backboard defense to push it off to the side, and Gill gets demoed in the 50, but Preston coming through as the backup. Flip reset, Woozy to try to clear out the goal, and he just bodies it in himself.
Preston being the brick wall right now, taking that one low and just being the bigger man on that 50 with Tathew, drilling it on into that bottom right corner, giving Boise State a 2-goal lead again going into this next kickoff.
1:51 left in game one. Tathew with possession, plays over Gill. Preston elevates, gets touch on it, but accidentally sets it up, and Alpaca will make him pay for it as Kansas comes back within one.
Great response. It just ricocheted off of Tathew and Preston. Woozy committed, but has no boost to reach on back. Preston also not able to make that last-second save in the post. Kansas bringing it back by one. Now going to try and look for that equalizer that they were looking for earlier. Tathew sending it high, looking for a pass. It's going to be to Alpaca, sending it to the backboard. Preston able to take it himself, trying to dribble it down. It's going to go. It's going to stay in the corner, and Jar's going to actually bump Woozy out of the way. Gill getting a last-second save.
Was almost very fruitful there, but luckily for Boise State, Gill, the crucial third man. Preston, one touch, plays it off the ceiling. Tathew gets one touch off to the side. Now the 50 between Gill and Jar doesn't really go anywhere. Jar with little boost, but enough to pass it to Alpaca. Preston intercepts and keeps the ball firmly in Boise State's control.
Tathew just playing 50s with Woozy right now. He's just making sure he can keep as much control as possible, but Alpaca's going to win that one. It's going to be sent all the way to the backboard, and Woozy able to reach it with no boost. He's going to try and just reach it for the next 50. Almost gets the dunk on net. Instead, it's going to be Tathew's turn from the sidewall. Preston getting in his way. He's not going to let that stop him. He's going to go fall down to Woozy from the corner. He's going to get around one. And all he has to do now is just beat out Jar. He's going to be able to play the 50. Jar's going to win that one and try to keep Kansas in the game still. With 30 seconds left, Kansas still looking for one more.
Gill pass to center. Preston tries to redirect it, but doesn't have boost to work with. Now he's filled up on 100 boost. We'll use that for the drive off the backboard and in. Preston takes it all the way across. This was one case where we didn't get to see how beautiful a play this was. His own follow-up off the backboard. Now Boise State most assuredly securing a win with just 16 seconds left unless kickoff goal is scored right here by Kansas.
Oh, maybe another one. Oh, no. I thought for sure. But regardless, Boise State 4-2. They're going to be able to walk away with the Game 1 win and start that climb to a Week 6 win. That's what they're going to be looking for here.
Worthy effort by Kansas to try to make something of that last little possession, but it will be a pretty firm Boise State victory. 2-goal win. Ball control definitely in favor of Boise State, but the one thing that impresses me most about Kansas is how many shots on goal they managed to make. There have been a lot of games against a lot of opponents where we've seen other teams just struggle to clear and get any sort of offensive pressure. That wasn't the case for the Jayhawks.
No, that was a really back-and-forth game, but on both sides of the field, whether it be offense or defense. I feel like it was really just, neither team had true control of the ball. It was, control for like 10 or 15 seconds, maybe even 20, and then it was back to the other side of the field. Repeat, back and forth.
Well, Boise State now up 1, having 2 games to go to get another win. As it stands right now, we're entering Week 6, so if Boise State wins this one, they will be 5-1 in the overall standings. Of course, the big threat of Michigan State, the one team that managed to beat them, is still looming over the Broncos. Maybe things will turn out different in the postseason, but to make sure the Broncos get in a good position to where maybe they can face Michigan State in the grand finals again, they're going to have to pick up these wins in the last 2 weeks. So here we go. Week 6, Syracuse, Boise State up 1. Kansas Jayhawks. I was talking so much during the pre-show to Syracuse, and again, the director's just with that comment about being the grand final no one wants to see. It's just Syracuse is just on my mind right now. It's just rattling around in there.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm sure what was it, Christopher? I'm sure he would agree with that because, he's the director for Michigan State. He
would like to see that.
Yeah, he'd love to be like, oh, Michigan's got this in the bag. They're already 2-0 against them. Why not make it 3?
Well, he was very clear. Boise State's a very formidable opponent, and he doesn't want to take the 2 wins that Michigan State has for granted. So we'll see if Boise State can manage, at least from the performance this week, to keep that fear, keep that image of Boise State as top competitors untarnished. Boise State up 1. We're seeing, we're wondering how Gill would slot in. Gill is really he's a really good anchor player, the reliable in stopping clears, being that third man in on the follow-ups. He is just such a great closer. That's a good term. He's a great closer for Boise State.
And maybe he might be able to start one here. Sending one to the backboard, looking for the double. Okay, able to clear that one out. Woozy sending one on Tathu. Clearing it with 0 boost. Jar not able to get a touch. Leave it for Preston, but couldn't quite get to it fast enough. Woozy. So much time to clear this one downfield and trying to follow up for himself. Now Tathu's going to clear it out for Preston to the backboard. He's going to be looking for his own, but no, he's going to leave it for Jar. He's going to battle the post. It's Gill. There it is.
Yep, that's what we were just talking about. Gill just loves to stay in these overview positions. No one is really stopping him. Alpaca tries to go in for the charge to disrupt him, but if Gill is in that vicinity where he's able to follow up, you can pretty well bet your bottom dollar that he is going to be the one to get that follow-up goal.
He's showing it. Game 1, now in Game 2. Tathu trying to get a flip set on target. Not going to happen. Woozy saving it out. Alpaca into the corner. Shot by Jar is going to be wide. Plenty of time, though, for Gill. Playing controlled. Looking for the flick. He's going to go high off the backboard. Alpaca not able to read. Maybe follow up by Woozy. Shot on and in.
Alpaca already commits, and Jar goes in just a little bit too soon on his rotation, leaving a nice open shot for Woozy to collect. Boys stayed up 2, 4:10 left. Next kickoff, Alpaca going up against Preston. Preston unable to stop the shot, but Alpaca will get demo. He is able to demo Alpaca a little bit later. Tathu now trying to center it. Gill with a nice block. Gill takes it. Reset off the ceiling, now goes in for, oh, that was so slick, but nothing to show for it. Boise State's still up 2, though.
Gill, he's doing such a good job right now. You can see the confidence spewing out of him right now. Woozy trying to get a double tap. He's going to leave it. Preston trying to play this next 50 with Tathu. It's going to go over Gill's head. It might be just rolling on in from the post. Jar slamming this one in, cutting that lead in half.
And in round 1-2, this is where Syracuse really was able to find a lot of these goals, these close-up opportunities off the back post. Just squeeze it in for a follow-up. That's been Kansas' wheelhouse so far. Alpaca, who looked like he might have had a good cheat, but it's a bit too far to the left. Tathu plays over Preston. Jar coming on in. Center, Woozy takes it, pass to Gill, huge shot, huge clear, back to set it up for Woozy, and Tathu comes in with the save to keep this game at just a 1-goal game.
And an amazing save at that. Now a counterattack opportunity on the other side. Woozy has to avoid the bump and gets saved. And this one just wide. Alpaca's shot not going in. It's going to be sent to the other side. Preston and Gill both on the sidewall trying to clear this one out. It's going to go off the top side of the goal. Water falls down. Preston sending one to the backboard, looking for a double of his own. Instead, it's going to be followed by Woozy. It's going to go in. Boise State 3-1.
A lot of confidence for the Broncos as he just watches it all unfold. And you see Joe and Tathu there, both in a position where they just didn't have a lot of boost to work with. Led to kind of some awkward jumps that were easily played past, and Boise State now with a more secure win to make it 3. Tathu, great defense off the backboard. We'll see what he can do with this dribble. He can't do much, so now it's in Jar's hands to go up against Woozy. Plays it by him, and now Preston pushes it off to the side.
Able to send it to the corner, and also getting a follow-up with the little push he had. It's going to bounce wide over the net. Alpaca able to get one, and actually a follow-up 50. Now Preston to the backboard, looking for another double tap. Jar able to get us to save out. Woozy keeping it close. Play 50s. Boise State, they're trying to get opportunities made, but Kansas, they've been able to shut them down and make every 50 count. Try to win them all. I mean, now under 2 minutes left, they're Kansas. They're still looking for 2 more goals to try and keep this one close, but Illy's going to try and put another one on target. Tathu has to save it off the backboard, and Preston's shot is also going to be saved by Tathu, just falling.
Woozy goes on in. Alpaca blocks. Gill misses his shot. Maybe Preston can have better luck. Going up against Jar. Manages to beat him by just a few seconds. Keeping the ball in this corner. Woozy, though, not able to center it. Alpaca pass to Tathu. Now to Jar. They have no boost to follow up, so Preston will just pass it over to Gill. Now we'll see if Boise State can score now that Kansas has spent a whole lot trying to clear.
Ooh, double out top opportunity, not gonna happen, but Gill's follow-up. Closing it out again, doing what he does best, putting Boise State up by 3.
Just nice casual play by Gill. His specialty, the follow-ups. 1 minute, 8 seconds left, and Boise State leading 3. His next kickoff, Woozy gets the better of it and can play past Jar. He's not even able to follow up. There's a lot of ground gained off of that initial. And Boise State is now going to try to make something of it. Tathu trying to clear. Gill unable to steal. Woozy, nice shot back to mid, but Alpaca shoots one on goal, and Boise State will be able to get a save, but Kansas might have a little bit of life in them in the final minute.
45 seconds, Gill passing it out to Woozy. Controlled touches, gonna get over Alpaca, looking for the dunk on Jar, not gonna happen. Now Preston from the sidewall. Not able to do too much, but he's gonna leave it for Woozy, sending it out mid. Maybe pass out to Gill. No, Alpaca able to dive onto that one, keep it out of their net, but with 20 seconds left, maybe even another one on net. It's gonna be a double tap out of Preston, surely securing this game too.
Nothing much Kansas can do at this point. Woozy, that's the best goal to have for him. Just one where he watches on and his teammates do it. Not that he hasn't had some great plays himself. He got 2 goals for this game. Tying Gill, and Alpaca tries to make something off the cheat, but nice save by Woozy. And only 13 seconds left to go. Boise State assuredly guaranteed to win this game too.
And an even better fashion than the last one. I mean, they were dominant in the first one, but here in the second game, they just brought it to another level, making it 5-1. Really making an effort to show why they're going to fight for this #1 spot. Or at least #2, since they did lose to Michigan.
We were on such a good note of morale.
I know, but it's like, I mean, if Michigan's undefeated and
I get you.
have the loss, I don't know, best seeding possible is what I should have said.
That's better. Yeah, it's just the way you brought that up. I mean, we're getting better, and then but remember, we did lose to Michigan State. We did lose to Michigan State.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, not too much more. There isn't too much time left to complain about it because Boise State is at match point. They just need one more game win, and Week 6 will start off on the right foot with Boise State sweeping it 3-0. We'll see if the Jayhawks have anything left to say about that as we head on down to the field.
Game 3. I'm sure these 3 players, they're going to be looking to replicate what they've been doing in these past 2 games. Really just suffocate on offense, pound on shots. And I think the biggest thing is going to be boost stealing. Making sure that Kansas doesn't have the resources needed to make saves consistently and to just really wind them down and, get those first 2 or 3 goals to solidify the game.
Yeah, that's been a constant problem of the Jayhawks is just not having boosts. Or sometimes they set themselves, they're able to get a clear, but they spend all the little boosts they had doing it. So there's just no way for them to follow up. Alpaca, pinch off the ground, sends it to Gill. Gill answers back. Now Jar back in mid. And they gain possession off of this. Taffew sends it wide to the left. Preston, Alpaca goes in, tries to get the shot on goal. Boise State defending, but looking for their first opening. Sends it off the backboard. Is there a follow-up? No, not quite yet.
Gill getting a control touch to the sidewall, but only as far as Taffew. Preston's turn now. Up. Flipper set over Jar. Now going to look for the 50 on Alpaca. It's not going to happen. Gill sending one on target, and Jar and Taffew both have to save for that one with 0 boost. Like I was talking about, the resources not there for Kansas. Woozy trying to collect off the sidewall. Preston making the next 50. And it's just going to hover in the midfield until Jar reaches that one, and Gill sending it all long. And Alpaca, lots of time to collect and try and get this one out.
Preston rounding the corner, and Gill tries for the follow-up. Both are denied. Taffew ready to go off the wall. Doesn't have boost, though, for a strong shot. Uzi takes it. Jar refills on the boost. Doesn't let Boise State steal that one. Now Jar going up against Gill. Gill gets the better of it. Can Preston come in? He sets it up. Follow up. No, Gill and Woozy are too far back on field, and things are still remaining scoreless as we have a minute and a half burned off.
I think this is the longest out of all the games so far that we haven't seen a goal go in. But for right now, Kansas, they're going to be holding the offense for now. Woozy sending that one wide. Gill cheating upfield, looking for the follow-up. No, Taffew's going to be able to send that one out. Preston able to get a beat on one. Gill getting a demo on Alpaca. All that's left is Jar. And it has to be coordinated, but no. Preston is going to get it over the head of Woozy and send it all the way back to the Boise State half. Still 0-0, now closing in on over 2 minutes gone in this game.
Woozy rounds the corner, comes on in, can't pull off the Doomsy. Would have been a very stylish way to score Boise State's first in game 3. Ball dies in mid. Players left scrambling after it. Woozy comes in, has plenty to work with, or he loses all his boosts, and Gill comes in, follow-up, and blocked by Taffew just by the skin of his teeth.
Gill taking that 50. Jar able to send one back out to Taffew. Woozy making the 50, but not getting the better of it. Preston to Woozy. Shot on net. It's going to be saved out by Jar. And Alpaca getting a clear out for Kansas. It's going to be put on target, but no. Preston to the corner for Woozy. Boise State, they're looking for something, but Kansas, they're doing just what they want to right now. They're shutting Boise State down in any capacity to make sure that they don't have those opportunities. Woozy sending one down to the midfield. It isn't going to work out, and Kansas still looking for their first goal.
Okay. Alpaca puts it to mid, but nice block by Preston. Jar sets it up. Gets another touch. Woozy answers back. Blocked by Taffew, but Gill has it. He'll keep the pressure on. But The rotation back from Boise State to pick up boost leaves an opening possibly for Kansas. They demo Preston. Gill now with possession. One touch makes it two for the flip reset, and Woozy almost is able to follow up, but Kansas beats him to the punch. And now we have 1 minute, 20 seconds left, still tied at 0 apiece.
Gill trying to get control, but he gets demoed for his efforts. Woozy trying to race on in, but he's going to get beat by Alpaca. Gill, last person back, able to get a good 50 on that one. Woozy sending it down the other way, getting a shot just wide. Trying to control Kansas. They want it out of their half, but right now Preston, he's going to be looking to say otherwise. Double tap off the board. No, Woozy with the save. Gill not ready for the follow-up. No boost. It's going to get bumped out of the way. Alpaca getting one around. Just in for a pass to Woozy, but no, Tathu was just waiting there. He knew what was going to happen between those two. He knew the passing play was going to come out, and now Kansas on the offense is going to be looking for the first one off the post. Still nothing, down to the last 30 seconds. 0-0 still.
Woozy tries to center it, blocked by Tathu. Jar demo to Tathu. Tries to get possession. Gill, ooh, spikes it up too high, but it might go in anyway. Oh! That almost turned into an extremely unexpected goal. We might be heading to OT for game 3. Just 10 seconds left. Neither team able to score.
And I've got to say, regardless of what happens in these last 3 seconds, props to Kansas for making those adjustments within the last minute in between games to, you know, bring it from a 5-1 in the last one to now game 3 overtime, match point for Boise State. Who will walk away with the win?
Pass to Woozy. And Woozy center it up nicely. Nice backboard presence by Alpaca. Pass to Jar. Preston up mid. Tathu takes it away from him, spends all his boost to do so, though. Alpaca has a lot to work with, and now just, trying to push it in. Follow-up from Jar was quality, too. It's good. Gill that read that. And they move up too far. Boise State scores on the open goal to secure the win in Game 3.
And all it took was an air dribble from Preston. Great control, great playmaking abilities. Everybody says GG's, and just like that, Boise State are going to add another win to their tally.
Very solid week for Boise State. I mean, even though only one game has been played this week, but don't take the glory away, okay? We are undefeated up to the top of the list. That's the way I like to see it with the Broncos.
There we go.
Undefeated for week 6. 3-0 sweep. Congratulations to Boise State, improving their overall win-loss record for the spring to 5-1. Just one more game now left to go, and that will be next week against Ohio State, which should be exciting.
That will be exciting, just to end out the PEC going into Vegas.
But as for this game in particular, we are going to want to leave you with some highlights, some of the top plays that we have just seen. And then after that, I assume we will go into an interview with Gill, one of the star players. So don't go away. We'll get word from Gill after we see the top 5 plays of the night. Don't go away.
It's going to be followed by Woozy. It's going to go in. Boise State 3-1.
A lot of confidence for the Broncos. As he just watches it all unfold, and Joe and
not going to happen, but Gill's follow-up. Closing it out again. Doing what he does best, putting Boise State up by 3.
Just nice casual play by Gill. And they move up too far. Boise State scores on the open goal to secure the win in Game 3.
And all it took was an air dribble from Preston. Great control, great playmaking ability.
And he just bodies it in himself.
Preston being the brick wall right now, taking that one low and just being the bigger man on that 50 with Tathu, drilling it on it. Even another one on net. It's going to be a double tap out of Preston, surely securing this game too.
Nothing much Kansas can do at this point. Woozy, that's the best goal to have for him. Just one where he watches on.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
Is your IT setup held together by duct tape and hope? Don't worry, Alpine IT Group has your back. We handle on-site support, service desks, cloud management, office phone systems, mobile device management, and more. And the best part, we can fix things remotely, so you can concentrate on your clients. Call Alpine IT Group at 1-888-720-4769 or visit alpineitgroup.com today. Scaling success together and completely duct tape free.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
At Blue Ribbon Painting, we're proud to be a locally family-owned and operated business dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's freshening up your home with interior or exterior painting or tackling a commercial project, we've got you covered. When you choose Blue Ribbon Painting, you're not just hiring painters. You're getting a team that's committed to making your vision a reality. Call or text us at 208-369-2583 or visit us at blueribbonpainting.net. Your project deserves a blue ribbon finish.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena, where we have Gil joining us after that win against Kansas State. And to start this off, I mean, so you're substituting in for Dirtha today, and I've got to ask, what is your routine, like what is your strategies going into games where, you know, I mean, you're not playing week to week to week, but you're coming in as sub. Like, what are the ways that you stay on point and in the zone?
I'd say just like individually, you just play the game a bit, play some rank, make sure you're still in the flow of things for like situations like this where you do have to play. But as far as like fitting into the team goes, it's pretty seamless, especially in these PEC matches. I played with Woozy last semester, so I have experience with him, and I played with Preston before, so I know what he's like as well.
Nice. And going into today, I mean, whenever we do see you, I feel like you're always that solid third man and reliable person that we can always see on the field, whether it be following up on shots like you were doing a ton in this match. You guys were always there to slot in shots, make sure you guys were going up by one or two. And I got to say, is that generally your kind of play style, or are you more of the aggressive type?
Yeah, no, normally, even when I was, playing a lot of these matches and grinding a lot, that was my play style, just more passive, pick up, fill the holes type thing. But yeah, I've never been like the aggressive type, especially because I play with Dirtho for a lot, so that was usually his role. But yeah, it's kind of always been my thing. It's always nice to come back and be able to slide in and work perfectly.
No, and it does work perfectly. I mean, you, Woozy and Preston, I mean, you guys made it work really well tonight, dominating those first 2 matches and then taking it into overtime in Game 3, ultimately coming out on top, getting BSU's 5th sweep in a row, now going into the Week 7. And now going into Week 7, I want to ask your opinion. What are your predictions and thoughts going into Week 7 and then ultimately, hopefully, Las Vegas at the end of this PEC season?
So I believe we play Ohio State next week. Played them last semester. We didn't have that tough of a time, but I would say in PEC at least they're one of the better teams. So something to look out for with them. But I don't expect that to be that difficult as long as we play our game and I'll show up ready to go. And as far as Vegas goes, I think we've got as good a shot to win as anyone.
Yeah, and that's the best mentality you can have going into it, just being, ready to go, ready for every match that's going to come your way. But right now, we do have to look towards that Ohio State game in Week 7. We do have one more to go, and for everybody else at home, you guys are going to have to tune in for next week's match against Ohio State to see how that one turns out. But for right now, that will be it for today's Rocket League matches. Thank you all for watching, and we will catch you all next time.